Welcome, fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic peeps, to my channel, Slime and Slashers, where, yeah, we talk about everything from Nickelodeon slime to horror movie slashers, but plenty of stuff in between, including books, including readathons as well. And today's video is all about readathons because I will be telling you all about a very special readathon I'll be doing on my Patreon channel in the month of September. So stay tuned, stay where you are, and right after this short intro we'll come back and I will tell you guys the flippin' deets in case you want to join in. Welcome back, guys. All right, let's talk about the readathon. So guys, I will be doing a special Patreon only readathon in the month of September. If you cannot become a Patreon, please do not fret, please do not worry, and you may still like to hear about the prompts that I'll be doing with my Patreon members, even if you can't support me in that way. I still really appreciate you guys supporting me by watching my videos, by commenting, by liking. That still means a whole heck of a lot to me, and it's still very much appreciated. I'm so thankful for you guys no matter what, especially because you take so much of your time to watch my videos, and that really means the world to me. So let's get into the readathon in case you are interested in joining the Patreon channel so that you could join in with us. The readathon is open to the middle and the top tiers, and that would be the popcorn level or the candy corn level. I actually redid all of my tiers recently and I named them all after different corns. So I call all my Patreon members Kelsi corns, and so each level is a different corn. We've got corn cobs, popcorns, and then candy corns. And if I ever have other levels, I've got more, like, because I've talked about unicorns before and corn dogs, and so anyway, there's plenty of thematic corn things. So basically candy corns and corn cobs are kind of like our mascots. So because of that, we are naming this readathon the Carnival Readathon. I'm encouraging people to read Carnival, Clown, Amusement Park reads, also circus themed reads, but you don't have to. I actually have 2 sets of 9 prompts, so 18 total prompts, and if you join in at the middle or the top tier, you can join in and do the prompts, or you could just read general carnival themed, clown themed reads if you want instead. The prompts are there so people could participate and not have to read specifically carnival or circus or clown themed reads. So the prompts are there just to be fun and to help people earn cute little clown corns and other things. So I've got 2 images that I'm gonna make people for whatever they earn. One image is a carnival map, and you could earn different rides, different stands, different little animals for your carnival map. And it's kind of like a vintagey, old school looking, like a carnival map, let's say. So of course it's called Carnival because, like I said, I call everyone Kelsi corns, hence why I'm wearing one candy corn. I'm also wearing Pennywise the Clown, so clowns and corns. It's all thematic, even though these earrings don't match. I'm being very thematic here. So you could choose to do different prompts from each board, or you can concentrate on one board, or you can try to black out both boards. But depending on what you earn from each board, you will earn certain little icons or pictures, and I will put those pictures onto a background and make you a desktop background. So one will be kind of like a big top themed background, and I will have different background options, but essentially you're earning different cute corns. Some of them are clown corns. One of them is like a unicorn with a corn cob, like little pointy, what do they call it? I was gonna say a tusk. Obviously it's not a tusk with a horn. That's a corn instead of a horn. That all rhymes. I'm not meaning to. I've got a corn dog little dude who's basically like the big top ringleader, got a popcorn clown who's about to pull a cannon, and I've got Jackson my dog as a corn dog, and he's got a top hat on. So that one is one thing you can concentrate on. It's got its own board, and everything you complete earns you a little mascot. And I've got printables that show you what you earn when you complete certain prompts. So see, this is the prompt. If you complete this prompt, you'll earn this. If you complete this prompt, you'll earn that, etc., etc. They're all numbered here. So all of this information is on my Discord as well as on my Patreon page, so if you do join, you'll end up seeing all this information as well, and it all will be available to you to download, etc. The other prompt board will earn you different things for the Carnival map, as I referred to before. So, just like in the other printable, you could see this prompt will get you this tall swing thing. This prompt will get you 2 roller coasters. And then I will make up a Carnival map with whatever you earn, and I will give you a choice of the background of the map as well. So the background's not a very big part of the Carnival map because there's not much room. The map itself takes up a lot of room, but I will customize each and everybody's map so it looks good, even if you don't, you know, complete all of the prompts. You still will have everything spaced out evenly because I'll make sure it looks good for you. I also have a whole big list of recommendations if you do want to go the Carnival themed route and you want to read more Carnival clown themed reads, you can, but again, you don't have to read that. You could read fantasy, you could read romance. These prompts are so general that you should be able to read anything you want and still earn whatever you want for your little graphics. So I will say that I have a whole big recommendation document if you do want to read Carnival themed reads, and that is also on my Discord for my Patreons, and it's also on my Patreon page as well. So very quickly, I'm going to go through the prompts, but again, this is super quick because there'll be plenty more info if you do join the Discord. There will be special Patreon-only sprints for this readathon, etc., etc. The middle tier is $6, the top tier is $9, and those, once again, to reiterate, are the 2 tiers that the readathon is open to. Alright, so the first prompt on the big top prompt, which will earn you different little, you know, corny clowns and, you know, the corn dogs and all of that. Read a book with big top colors on the cover, aka red and white. Read a book with more than 3 words in the title, aka at least 4 words in the title or more. Read a book set in fall time, because, you know, September, we're getting into spooky season, bitch! Yes. Read a book that spells corn on the cover, and basically, you just use the title of the book, the author's name, any blurbs, any quotes, anything you find on the front cover, use it to try to spell out the word corn. Alright, next prompt, a book that reminds you of childhood. This is subjective. It could be a Goosebumps book. It could be a Goosebumps book that you didn't even read before, but Goosebumps in general reminds you of childhood. It could be a book that is about something that is childlike or nostalgic for you. That is up to your interpretation, very, very loose. You can be as loose or as strict with your interpretations as you want. Read a book featuring food on the cover or in the story. This could be drinks, this could be candy, this could be actual food. Cozy Mysteries would work for this. Even a regular book that you know may mention some, like, one sentence of eating or something, you can count. You don't have to be super strict with this. So again, it could be on the cover or in the story itself. If you're going for in the story, it could be as small as a freaking 1 sentence mention. You can assume a book will mention food. You do not have to be sure. Again, I want people to have fun and be able to read what they want. So this is all just for fun. It doesn't have to be super strict. Next corny big top prompt is middle grade or YA read. A new to you author. And finally, read a book with something on the cover that you could find at a circus. A clown, a piece of candy, animals like lions, horses, bears, tigers. You could even go a step further and really count any kind of creature you want. Even a creature that doesn't exist but you think would maybe exist if a, like, out of this universe carnival or circus would exist in real life. So yeah, just, again, be very loose if you want to be. That is more than okay. Alright, the second set of 9 prompts, again, will earn you things for the map, and these are the prompts for that. Read a book with a set of eyes on the cover, and that could be literal, like a set of 2 eyes, you know, like we have on our face here. Hello, these kind of eyes. And that could be on a creature or on a person. So any cover with a person on the front, they're going to have 2 eyes most likely. So there you go. Or you could use like the set of eyes on an animal, like a horse. You could double dip with any of these prompts across boards too, if you want, by the way. Or if you can't find a book with actual eyes on the cover, you could find a book with 2 letter eyes on the cover, but it has to be 2. So as long as anywhere on the front cover there are 2 letter eyes somewhere, that includes blurbs, author name, title, all of it, then you could count it. The next prompt is read a book with a cover that reminds you of any kind of Kelsi corn. And this you could, interpret in two ways. You could say, okay, well, I know somebody who belongs to Kelsi's Patreon is Lexi from Books with Lexi, or Amy from Amy Noel Reads, or Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures, or Katrina from Katrina Brown. You could base your read off of them and say, okay, this book cover looks weird. Amy and Katrina, they're fellow Kelsi corns, and they love weird stuff, so this book reminds me of Amy, and she's a Kelsi corn, or Katrina, and she's a Kelsi corn. This book looks like an awesome thriller book. That reminds me of Lexi. Or this fantasy book looks like something that Kaylee would like, so you could use a fantasy book for her. Or you could be literal and use one of our icons on my Patreon that we use to represent little Kelsi corns. Like, the book could have color scheme of an actual candy corn, so white, orange, and yellow. I've got lots of books that have some of those colors on the front cover. Or you could have a book that has a plain yellow cover, any shade of yellow, and you could use that to represent a corn cob, or just corn kernels. You could have a kind of brownish cover that reminds you of a corn dog. You can have a neon cover that reminds you of a flashy looking unicorn, because a lot of times I think of like a Lisa Frank style when I think of like weird creatures like unicorns. So you could like kind of base it off of that and use like neon colors to represent a unicorn, which is a type of, quote, Kelsi corn. So you can interpret it in that way. Next up, the next prompt is read a popcorn read. This is up for interpretation. Basically, we mean something that is fun, something that is silly, a read that is just easy to get into, it's casual, it's something that you want to read and have a good time and an entertaining time reading. Next up, it's our only movie prompt. Watch a movie or TV show episode featuring a carnival, circus, or clown. Some examples: Big Top Pee-wee, which I think we're going to be watching as a group watch on our Patreon-only Discord. I also think you could totally watch any version of it, so we're talking about the old school Tim Curry version or the new version of it with Bill Skarsgård. You could watch either one and it would count. You could freaking watch the carnival-themed new Are You for the Dark mini-series that they had. That wasn't so bad, and it was definitely carnival themed, so you could do anything like that. Next up, in the spirit of the carnival, use a game to choose your next read. You could be as loose or as creative as you want with this. For instance, my friend Amy has a tarot card TBR game, and she could use that game, instead of just picking out her TBR, she could use it to pick out the book for this particular prompt on the board. Also, you could use ring toss. Say you write a whole bunch of names of books you want to get to. You put one of the pieces of paper each in these little bottles, and you throw a ring at the bottle. Whatever bottle it lands on, you get the paper out of the bottle, unfold it, and that's the freaking book you'll be reading. You could even just do a random number generator wheel or book generator wheel, because you know some circus and carnivals have almost like a roulette style number game that you could place bets on and win stuffed animals or actual cash prizes, stuff of that nature. So again, create whatever game you want. If it's just going to be a regular TBR game, go ahead and do that. But if you want it to be something specific just for this, you could do that too. Next up, read a book with fire on the cover, so flames on the cover, or the word fire in the title. So use the title to spell out F-I-R-E. Anywhere in the title. Next up, read a book with a place in the title. For instance, a carnival-themed book, The Pilo Family Circus. That's technically the name of a circus, which is technically a place. But it could also be a non-formal place as well. I know Man F This House. House is a place. That could be in the title. Next prompt, read a book with a great first sentence. And this is subjective, so you choose. You open up books, you see if you like the first sentence. If you think it's great, count it. And last but not least, read a book featuring clowns or creatures in the story. And I specifically use the word creatures so that it could apply to non-actual existing creatures. So dragons, aliens, literally any creature. If it doesn't exist, it's okay. You could still count it, because to me, if there was a kind of carnival of monsters, you could pretend that that would be a thing, and that the creature of your choosing would exist in that universe for the Carnival of Monsters or the Carnival of Creatures. So that could totally be, again, very loose, interpreted how you want. And that's about all the prompts, guys. I just wanted to quickly go over it and give you an idea of the things we're doing for our readathon, and I'm so excited. I know, 18 prompts, 2 boards is a lot, but you don't have to do all of them. You could do as much or as little as you want. I like to give people a lot of options in case they do want to go ham, then they can go ham ham. I also love going ham. I do want to remind everyone that the week of Weird is taking place in the last week of September. My readathon technically is going to take place officially the first 2 weeks of September. However, I know that I am going to stretch it unofficially for the whole month. A lot of my Patreons will be stretching it for the whole month. It's totally up to you if you want to do it the whole month. You will have all month to earn different things for your desktop backgrounds that I will make for you. So there will be a Google form you fill out at the end, and that will determine how I make your desktop graphics. So stay tuned for that. But again, you will have all month, but I do want to remind everyone, encourage everyone to participate in the Week of Weird, which is run by Crystal over at the channel Fiber Artsy. Check out her channel, she's marvelous, as well as Jason from the channel Jason's Weird Reads. And I had so much fun during the first Week of Weird earlier this year that I'm so excited for the Week of Weird at the end of September. So again, it's the final week of September. I will be doing both my Carnival Readathon and the Week of Weird. And the prompts for this and the prompts for that are so general that you could easily do both if you want to. So I know lots of people who will be doing both. Actually, Crystal's one of my members, so if you read a weird book, you could use that for the one that reminds you of a Kelsi corn, that prompt that says, read a book with a cover that reminds you of somebody. If a book has a weird cover, say, oh, that reminds me of Crystal. She is a Kelsi corn, and then you could count that for that prompt. So even Crystal's going to be doing both readathons because she's a part of my Patreon. She'll be reading Carnival stuff, but she's also going to be doing her own readathon, so of course she's going to participate in that. So you could easily do both, and I really encourage you, if you do mine, please make sure you try to do hers too, because her and Jason's readathon is fabulous, and I'm so excited about it, and I know a lot of other people who are too. So don't want to take away any thunder from that, because that is a public and free readathon. But if you are wanting to join in on the fun, you are more than welcome to join in on the middle or top tier and become a corn, and let's freaking have a carnival party. It's carnival time. Anyway, okay. For this time, guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, you know what you can do. Keep on killing it. Bye, guys.